Hi Scorpio, how's it going? We are here with your reading, what you need to know for December. The first card that we have out is Knight of Wands and Four of Cups. Having Knight of Wands and Four of Cups, I feel like you can be trying to get back in touch with like your inspiration. Why I'm saying this is because the card Knight of Wands is here, okay? So there's going to be a focus on energy, on motivation, on doing things that we want to be doing because we feel inspired to be doing these things, of wanting to take a bold approach or wanting to get something done, or wanting to do something even just because it's fun. What can be happening in the beginning of December is maybe not totally feeling like that and maybe trying to like rediscover that part of yourself. Why I'm saying that is because we have the Four of Cups, and Four of Cups looks like it is facing Knight of Wands, and sort of when we're in that energy of the Four of Cups, it can be things just feeling blah, things feeling medium. It can be stuff that doesn't really feel super exciting, or you're like, okay, this again, it kind of just feels like the same old energy when we have the Four of Cups. Like things aren't particularly interesting. So you can feel like you kind of like lost your sparkle a little bit. Okay, Scorpio, in the beginning of the month anyway. So having this Four of Cups sort of like walking over, like moving over towards the energy of the Knight of Wands, this feels like trying to rediscover what that is for you. And I'm also seeing High Priestess on the bottom of the deck, so maybe this is going to be like some type of intuitive approach that you take to do this. And also too, when we have the High Priestess, maybe there's something mystical that you want to connect with. Maybe there's something energetically that you want to connect with. Maybe there's something having to do with anything that's going to grab your attention and keep your focus. High Priestess can also be stuff that is connected with self-investigation. Maybe there's something that you're going to be looking into that you want to connect with within yourself, because maybe you're feeling kind of disconnected. I feel like if the Four of Cups here has energy for anything, it's rediscovering that connection. The motivation, the excitement, the passion, the why am I doing this in the first place? I'm seeing the Star coming out. The path will be found. And here we have Page of Wands. I would say that you do definitely find something that lights you up again. You could also need some recovery time, some of you. Maybe you're going to be doing something that helps you recharge a bit. You can be resting too. That can be something that you prioritize. I think like all with the intention of feeling energized again. In some type of tough circumstance, maybe emotionally more than anything, I'm seeing Queen of Cups and I'm seeing Five of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups is reaching for Page of Wands. So this is like, I want to get on that track, but there can be a feeling of possibly like not being able to, or that can be the feeling. I don't know if that's actually the reality of this situation. Like there's something that you can feel like you're leaning in towards, that you're sort of reaching for here. But when we have that Five of Pentacles sort of behind, there can be something that you're carrying with you that you feel like is weighing you down a bit. I wonder too if this has to do with some type of circumstance, because I'm seeing like a little drop of sweat on the Queen of Cups card. And so maybe there's something going on within a circumstantial thing that is feeling difficult to be within, maybe making you work harder. I kind of feel this as like something that you're carrying along with you that is like weighing you down a bit, but it's like it's tied in with the circumstance that you're in. I feel you're getting closer and closer to this track that you're leaning towards. At the same time, I do feel like you're kind of slowed down by some type of circumstance that you're in. Like you can feel like it does something where it doesn't maybe allow things to happen as rapidly as you want, but it can also be a situation that you don't want to, by any means, have things stay like that. This feels too like wanting so badly to be on the path and be like, I'm here, this is where I'm supposed to be, like I'm having the best time right now, I love it here. It feels like wanting to connect with that part of yourself. Like maybe this is like, I want to be somewhere that I feel really passionate about. I want to be somewhere that I feel really interested, which is going to be a byproduct of you being somewhere that you're meant to be, you know, somewhere that you belong, somewhere where you feel a sense of purpose, somewhere where you feel you can contribute and shine in the way that you want to, or express yourself in the way that you want to. Three of Swords is coming out. Feels like it pains me to say this kind of feeling that I'm getting with this. Can we get background on this, please? Why is this below? Before I clarify exactly what Knight of Wands has to do with the Three of Swords here, I do get that you can be going through a tough time right now where you feel like there's still stuff that needs to be unpacked. Having the energy of the Knight of Wands can mean needing to sort of like push through that and not give up, and like to keep sort of trying and sticking with it. Maybe like put on a bit of a brave face here. Can you tell me more about this, please? Feels like there's some past stuff that you're moving in the direction of. It feels like going full force, like right into landing into something. This can even be like memory type stuff. I wonder if this is something going on that you feel like is the key to helping you connect with a part of yourself that you can feel like isn't functioning at its highest potential right now. Because the way that I'm getting the vibe of the Knight of Wands feels like that part of you that's like excited and inspired, and you have stuff that you're seeing that you want to embrace, or that you want to cultivate, or that you want to achieve. And I wonder, like, something's going on where you can feel like that part of you is, like, something's going on with that part of you. Feels, again, like it's not functioning 100%. You can feel like this is something that needs to be addressed big time here. And you can feel, too, like the only way forward is revisiting something, actually. But it can be something that you're like, you don't really want to have to deal with it. Just maybe because it's complicated, painful, a lot to unpack with the Three of Swords. But there can be a part of you that's like, this is the only way. This needs to be done. Maybe there's also going to be something about like reconnecting with a time when you were feeling happy about things. I wonder if this is the difference between getting yourself involved in something that gives you like a temporary high versus something that, like metaphorically speaking, that versus something that you feel like happiness, joy, peace is like a byproduct of you being in the right place, like doing the right things. When I say right, I mean the things that are in alignment with cultivating that feeling of, I feel inspired, I feel motivated, I feel like my batteries are charged. So as much as this can be something that you don't necessarily like look forward to the work of this, you can look forward to the result of what that will yield for you if this is something that you address. Oh, something else. This thing that's coming up for you, I feel too like the way that this impacts you, and this feels like something happened and now you're left sort of with the effect that that has had on you, connected with like the story that you tell yourself about this. I feel like one of the ways that this impacts you currently, like before this is being dealt with, however you're feeling the effect of it when you're like in that space, it may actually disconnect you from the part of you that like when you see something, regardless of whether it's a challenge or you have to put yourself out there or you have to do this, you have to do that, like whatever it is that you have to like sort of perform with, this can sort of keep you from doing that. It feels like Knight of Wands wants to make moves and be inspired and feel excited and have things be fun and like have a good time. You can feel like something is sort of weighing on you psychologically that isn't allowing that to happen. So the Knight of Wands within you can be feeling restless because it's like, I need to express myself, but because of something going on cognitively, it feels like it's like not allowing you to do so. That's the feeling. Because Knight of Wands is also that part of you that it's like big, bold, make a statement, like do what you want, kind of like whatever it is that you want. And also a more tapped in, like fearless, so to speak, energy. I feel like something's getting to you where it's not really allowing that part of you to be showing up and expressing. So you can be like, not really in the mood to do risk taking, or not really in the mood to put yourself out there, or not really in the mood to be like chasing after what you want, or making, I feel like this comes from a place of like actually just genuine moves that you feel inspired to make, but because of this thing, feels like it's like getting in the way of that. And needing to reconcile with this energy, reconcile with this part of yourself, and feel like I gotta go back and I gotta take care of this. Because it's getting in the way now. And you don't want it to be getting in the way. I'm seeing a very prime opportunity in front of you, but you can feel like you can't even begin to look at it until you address this. Because I'm seeing the Star and the Ace of Wands, and this feels like something prominent, significant, important, substantial, promising. Something that you feel like is linked with your direction, with your purpose, that this can be a guiding light within your life. Like a golden opportunity. But you can feel again like you can't even begin to look at that until you address this over here. That sort of mutes that part of you that would want to go for something like this. I feel too like something happened where maybe you like lost your hope or something of that. Lost hope, felt like something maybe lost its sense of direction. It's not that those things aren't still there. It just feels like clouds getting in the way so you can't see the stars anymore. And when it's dark, looking for those stars, but feeling like they're sort of covered up. So where is that sense of direction? I do feel like this is something that you are carrying with you, and it's based off of some event, like some situation, something that had happened that now you're sort of carrying like a psychological mark because of it that's not allowing you to make moves. It's like getting in the way of you acting in alignment with like your nature here. So the part of you that you would usually get excited about something like this is like, well, I have this stuff that I'm dealing with and I feel like I can't really be totally present to that. And it just feels like, you know, that if you weren't in this situation or if you weren't carrying this with you, this is normally something that I think would be really exciting. But because of sort of the position that you're in and what you're dealing with, what you're carrying right now, it feels like you look at this a bit differently. Maybe that's also something too, is that you don't want to feel like this is lost on you, and it feels like that would potentially happen if things are not being taken care of. Because I mean, having this Star above Ace of Wands, this can be something that feels really important to your life direction. Not giving up that easily though. I'm seeing you kind of fight for this. I do feel kind of an energy of redemption here a bit. But I kind of get the feeling of you sort of having to like fight for what you want a bit. I think just with yourself saying like, this is real for me, or this is true for me, and this is what I want, and this is where I want to be. And so if you see something that you want in front of you, it's about seizing it rather than letting it pass you by. Because I'm seeing something here that is available to you, but it does feel like it requires you to sort of show that it matters to you. And if you concede here, I feel kind of like something else may be happening instead. I think that part of this is also about like belief, because I'm seeing as well an emotional component that we haven't gotten like deeply into yet. That feels like maybe you feel like part of you is a little bit broken here or wounded, or you're like, I'm not in a circumstance that's like very easy to work within. So even if you don't like, I kind of don't feel like you feel it's you. This feels more so like the circumstance more than anything is the vibe that I get from this. But because of that, it can sort of be like a mindset that you're carrying with you as well. And so there's this part of you that needs to believe in what's possible, believe in what you're capable of. And it feels like in a very intrinsically motivated way, seeing what's possible for you. And connecting with that part of yourself that you see as being capable of. I do feel a sense of being very thrown off by a current circumstance at some point in December. And maybe a choice that needs to be made about it, too. Some of you too, a relationship can be involved in this. This can be about you and another person. Feel like there has to be a link between these two energies, that maybe there isn't one right now because there's painful stuff getting in the way. And it feels like it's not allowing the path to be walked together. It feels even like don't have access to the path. But in the middle here, I'm seeing it sort of be there. It feels like a choice needs to be made to be there, for this to be the thing that's being chosen. That word feels significant. So I'm seeing one energy over here with the Knight of Wands that is feeling like they are like kind of marked by something here. Like there's pain that this energy is carrying. On the other side with the Queen of Cups, this one feels more so like doubt in the circumstance and having a hard time looking at this and feeling hopeful because of the circumstance, given the circumstance. And it even feels like some type of pain that one energy is carrying with it is maybe contributing to the circumstance that another one is feeling like this, I'm having a really hard time working within this. I'm having my doubts, and this is not, again, like this situation that the Queen of Cups is in. Queen of Cups is feeling like this is definitely not sustainable. I need things to change, may not know exactly how to do that, and also can feel too like there's disappointment, like there's stuff that needs to be worked out. I'm seeing these energies like they want to be connected with one another. I just get the feeling of there being like cloudiness that's blocking things with this energy of Knight of Wands. Like Knight of Wands is usually, I feel like this is somebody that you would look at and you would see them as being like powerful and passionate and shining. Like you would just get that feeling of warmth coming off of them because this is somebody that's like really connected and in tune with their heart and with their solar plexus, their power, and like even with their sacral energy, as this is fire. So you would see sort of that sort of coming off of them like a diffuser. It's just like in the energy around them. And I feel like this energy is going through something right now where they're kind of blocked, and there needs to be an addressing in order for things to come together. Because this, for some of you, this is like you have something going on with another person and you can feel like there's like all the potential there, which I'm seeing be in the middle, but it's like you have your stuff, they have their stuff, and it even feels like the stuff that's going on with the Knight of Wands is contributing to a situation that Queen of Cups is like, I don't want to be in this situation. and I'm having my doubts because I feel like this isn't super like feasible to be working in something like this. And Knight of Wands may actually need to be like doing the work here in order for Queen of Cups to feel like there's hope. So this feels like Knight of Wands has issues that need to be addressed here, that need to be unpacked because of the like wounding that Knight of Wands is carrying with it, which I feel like is then going to very much impact the behavior and the decisions that are being made. And it needs to be addressed. And then I feel like that is what will allow for a more fertile situation for Queen of Cups to be within. So there can be it just feels like this circumstance isn't supposed to be like this. Like this isn't the highest potential of the circumstance. But it feels like because of what one of the characters are going through right now, it's sort of contributing to a dysfunctional maybe circumstance. And then like nobody's really thriving here, and it feels almost like this is something that can get sort of flushed down the drain if this isn't addressed, if this isn't taken care of. And I feel like this kind of comes from an avoidance of something painful that needs to be addressed on the end of the Knight of Wands. And it feels like Queen of Cups is looking at Knight of Wands being like, you're not addressing this, and it's having me feel like there isn't hope for the circumstance because you're not addressing this. So that's what I'm seeing for the energy. I'm seeing Aquarius here. And so I kind of feel like this decision that the Queen of Cups is going to make is connected with whether or not Queen of Cups feels like there's hope in this situation or not, and needs to see some type of change, like needs to see some type of action-oriented thing happening here. Because it feels very much like Knight of Wands is a card of action, but it feels like right now Knight of Wands is in an energy of inaction and not dealing with something that feels like it very obviously needs to be dealt with. And it feels like it's not allowing Knight of Wands to express themselves in the way that they normally would, and that is leading to, I think, like not a great environmental situation for everybody involved. And I do feel like Knight of Wands is aware of this. It just feels like it may be difficult to address that because Three of Swords is painful to address. And then it can feel like this comes down to a choice of, I may have to do something difficult to allow myself to have the opportunity to be in a circumstance that I feel like this is part of what my life is about. This is important to me, versus conceding and being like, no, and then just not dealing with it. In a way, I kind of feel like this stuff is sort of thrown out there and like maybe made a bit more obvious in the month of December, but we leave December looking like a choice has still not been made. Like something feels like it's still up in the air. I feel kind of like if there are two people in this, like you and another person, right? Or even you observing this happening within like a friend or like somebody that you're close with, whatever, like a partnership. What can be going on with these energies is that one of them sort of needs to take action here, and the other one is impacted by the action or inaction of the other character. Saying like, I'm disintegrating in this circumstance, like, are you going to do something or not? But feeling almost like something hasn't really been done, and it feels like that's going to be the thing that makes the choice. And Queen of Cups can even feel like they're sort of like waiting around for Knight of Wands to do something. And there's a choice that needs to be made, essentially. The way that I see this opportunity be kind of feels like a very, very important, significant life opportunity that these energies are connected with, that there's just like pure potential here for this to be happening, but there needs to be a choice. Again, like this thing about choice being very important to this. We even end with the Two of Swords here, which is a card of choice. I feel like this is something that's been ongoing. That's kind of the feeling that I get from this. Star is a card of hope, purpose, dharma, healing, dreams. I do feel again like December ends and something may still be up in the air, but it feels like we're getting closer to something happening here. Anything else? If effort is put in and if this path is chosen, I'm seeing that it can work. It's just the choice that needs to be made. It's not like I'll try and then it's not going to work or something like that, and that's what's going to determine whether this works or not. It feels like it actually all comes down to a choice of, are we going to do this? Are we going to participate in this? Are we here together or not? And this needing to be addressed. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.